Hey, this is Hal Coleman, the Pest Control Marketer, and I want to talk with you for a few minutes about something that I know is going to be near and dear to your heart, okay? And that is how to handle objections. We all get objections when we're trying to sell our services. I mean, if it weren't for objections, we would sell 100% of everything we proposed, right? But we don't. We get objections. When somebody says no, they have an objection. So I want to give you a couple of tips on how to deal with objections. These are powerful, and if you will pay attention to these and practice and utilize what I'm going to share with you, it'll help you close a lot more deals. It'll help you turn around a lot of people who otherwise would say no to you. Now, in the pest control business, the most common two objections we get are, I can't afford it, or your price is too high. Now, those are two different things, okay? I can't afford it, or your price is too high. There are some other ones, but they're few and far between compared to these two. I can't afford it, your price is too high. So how do you deal with those? Let's take your price is too high. Now, the best way to deal with an objection is to not get the objection in the first place, okay? You don't want to get the objection. And you avoid getting an objection by anticipating the objection and dealing with it in your presentation. Once somebody comes out with an objection, once they state their objection publicly, it becomes a lot harder to turn them around. There were two psychologists named Harold Gerard and Morton Deutsch, and they did a study and they proved that when somebody publicly states something, once they come out with it, it can be up to 10 times harder to get them to change their mind. Especially with us guys. I mean, we're stubborn. Once we say something, we're sticking with it, right? No, we're supposed to turn left, so I'm turning left. No, but I can see the shopping center. It's right there. I don't care. I'm turning, you know. So when somebody comes out and states a position, it can be really hard to turn them around. So once they say, well, I think your price is too high, now you got your work cut out for you. We got some folks showing up here with us today. Donna, Danny, Gavin, thanks for joining in with us here. So how do you do that? You build the objection into your presentation. For instance, when you're doing your presentation and if your price is $1,200 for a termite treatment, you may say, now I get your price here. I figured it up, it's going to be $1,200, which is not bad. Now, if you've never had a home treated for termites before, you might initially think that that's a high price, but it's really not, and here's why. To start with, you're going to get this. You state your value. You show them everything they're going to get for the $1,200, which in turn makes the $1,200 seem like it's not all that much money, okay? And if they're thinking the price is too high, then when you address that in your presentation, now in their mind, they'll say, well, I guess that's not a bad price. But once they come out with it, see, it's a lot easier to deal with the objection when it's in here than it is when it's out here. Much, much more difficult once that objection comes out. So simply deal with it in your presentation, okay? The second thing I want to share with you is this. When they do come out with an objection, for instance, if they say, your price is too high, when somebody comes out with an objection, you want to do two things. Number one, you want to acknowledge their objection. Simply acknowledge it. Don't ignore it, don't argue, don't say no, just acknowledge their objection and then point out the positive side to the objection. You see, every objection really has a positive side. Now let's go back to the price. If they say, I think your price is too high, you say, well, I can understand how you might think that the price is too high. Now you just acknowledged it. But sometimes a high price, can mean a much greater value. In most cases it does. So let me show you what you're getting. Now you point out the positive side of the higher price is that they're getting a lot more stuff. And I hope you're giving them more stuff. You need to be giving them more value than your competition. I'll assure you that in all cases. So I can see how you might think the price is too high, but it's not, and here's why. And then you begin to show them the positive side. Now that's exactly the same thing that you were doing, building it into the presentation. You might have forgotten to build it in there, okay? If somebody says, I can't afford it, I think it's a good price, but I just can't afford it. I just can't afford $1,200. Well, I can understand not being able to afford it, certainly. Certainly identify with that. But what if I was able to make it affordable to you? What if we could make it affordable? Because we can. I can make this affordable for you. So you're pointing out the positive. Yes, you can't afford it. That's the negative. But yes, I can make it affordable. Would it help you if you paid 50% down now and maybe 50% in 30 days? Would that help you? I used to throw that line out, and over half the time people would say, you know, if you could do that for me, I could swing it. I could swing it. That'll close the deal over half the time. And if they say, well, I really just couldn't do that. Well, what if I broke it up into 3 payments? Would that help you? And so you're simply pointing out the positive side. You acknowledge that they think that they can't afford it, and then you point out the positive side. If you'll do those 2 things, beneficial to you. So I hope this is helpful to you, how to deal with objections. You're going to get them, but the more you learn how to deal with them, the more often you'll be able to turn that objection into a close. And you might want to sit around with your team members, your employees, when you have your next meeting, and everybody sit down with a notebook and go around the table. List all the objections you get. What are some objections you've gotten? And you know, you could come up with a turnaround for every objection there is almost. You just have to work on it. You have to work on it like you do anything that's worth doing. So I hope this was helpful to you. We got more folks joining us here. Rick, Matt, David. Thank y'all for taking the time to join me here on Facebook, here in Pest Control Marketing Gold. If you have an issue with this or any other issue in your business that you're struggling with, something that's holding you back, you've hit a wall, you can't move forward, you can't break through, you're just stuck in your business, give me a call. I'd be happy to chat with you and we come up with some ways to break you through that wall. I'd love to just talk with you and see if I can help you. 770-993-0004. I'm here in my office. This is my outdoor office. Let me turn the camera around here and you see, this is my outdoor porch. There's my hot tub over there. And we swing all the way around this way, and you'll see there's my barbecue grill over there. And I'm sitting here under my ceiling fan because it's about 90 degrees out here right now. But I enjoy it. This is my creative spot. So thanks again for hanging out and joining us. I hope it was helpful. If you got a question or something you're struggling with, I hope you give me a call. Thanks a lot and have a great day.